Hello guys, this is Lady Loser again. So today I'm going to react to Dapper Dev again, and this time I'm going to react to a video that I disagree with mostly. So yeah, it's one of the videos that he says he speaks about women, which is usually the videos that I strongly disagree with. So let's get going.
Have you guys noticed the hypocrisy of how everyone seems to be praising, promoting, cheering for, applauding women, especially like 30 and beyond, for being single? And those same people will put down, shame, disrespect, and scold men for being single right now?
Nope, it's pretty much the opposite, and not that much the opposite, because I do believe that some men are ashamed as well, especially men that are still not married. But in my experience, most people don't care that much about men that are, that don't have a partner, because they are focusing on their career. Oh, he's a man of vision. He's an ambitious man that's focusing on his career. While if you're a woman, as a woman, you are raised, to find a man, and it should be the sole purpose of your life. And if you're above 30 and still single, I myself am a woman above 30 that's still single. And I do not really get the treatment that he's saying there. So if he has the contact of the people that are praising and, doing all those good things, please let me know. Because, for example, I've been ostracized at work for being the only single woman in the group of women, and even men would look down on me for that. And in other, contexts as well, it's not really the way he's saying. And it's not just to me, I see this happening to other women around my age as well that are still single. So nope, that's not true. Please send over the contact of the people that praise women like me.
Even young men, not even 30 plus, any man of any age that is single, most people shame him, put him down, belittle him, disrespect him, say he's not good looking enough, he's not rich enough, he's not hardworking enough.
I get the same things. I get the same kind of comments. And, as an adult, usually nobody's going to say that to you directly, but like subtle ways to imply all of those things. Yeah, all the time.
He's not man enough. But those same people seem to be cheering for and promoting women being single.
Not really, man. Where is that happening? Please, I want to go there.
Isn't that a little strange? Have you guys noticed that? Everywhere you look now, mainstream media, any social media platform.
I'm being playful, but I don't know if what he means is like feminist pages, perhaps, that empower women, that say that it's okay to be on your own, that you don't have to settle down for less than what you deserve, and this type of very generic sentence and types of things, right? Let's see if he's more specific about it.
Independent people making their videos. This weird gaslighting is going on that so many people are going along with, where we are acting like the best move for women is to just be single.
He made this like dramatic pause as if, oh my God, this is such a mistake. But that part, it's actually true. If you ask, and actually there's research out there that shows that after you marry, men get happier and women get much unhappier. And that's because after marriage, women usually receive the double or triple journey, of having to work and clean the house and take care of the house, do all the housework on her own, and raise children on her own. And I've seen throughout my life multiple times into exhaustion couples just like that, where the guy only works and the woman also works and does everything else, and the woman looks exhausted, the woman doesn't sleep, doesn't get enough sleep, has like this exhausted face with dark spots under her eyes, and the guy is just fine. And then these men start complaining when the woman doesn't have a sex drive anymore, But none of these guys ever want to share the duties of being a marriage, in terms of, if both of them are working, then both should have to do the housework, then both should have to raise the kids and share the responsibility of raising kids when you have them. But that's not what happens. And that's why many women are choosing to be single. That's the reason.
I mean, what would that be besides helping to normalize and promote the destruction of the nuclear family? I guess.
So yeah, it's not about destructing families, man. It's just women finding out that it's much healthier, it's much less exhausting, and it's much fairer. You have a much more fulfilling life, much more freedom being single than, having that extremely unfair life in a marriage. Many times, like with an abusive husband that thinks that a woman should never say no to sex, that thinks it's his right to beat up the woman. Man, this happens so often. Just look at the data about femicide and domestic violence. Everything's going up and up. I'm not saying here that fake cases do not exist, but they're definitely not the majority. It's just a matter of, looking at the facts. And it's clear, by now that he's in a completely different bubble than I am. And I also don't want to, these bubbles are not equally, they don't have the same size, right? So, yeah, I think just to keep it succinct, maybe he should speak to women. I think a lot of these guys that say things like that about women are not talking to women and asking them what it's the actual issue. So why are you choosing to be single? Why are you doing this and that? Just ask the women, man. You're going to be surprised with the answers.
Nobody wants that anymore. Whatever, to each their own. I've said this 1,000 times. At the end of the day, men will be okay if they're single later on in life. Men will find relative happiness if they're single later in life. It's not the case for women. Now, you can act like you're happy, and you can say you're happy, and travel all over the world hooking up with random strange men.
He's so judgy about women having a lot of partners, right? Like lots of these red pill guys are. I don't remember if he sees himself as a red pill, but he definitely sounds like one. But yeah, so much judgment. And and what he said before about men being happier single when they're older. There's research showing the opposite. That, for example, after divorce, men usually get extremely depressed because they don't have anyone else to do all the housework for them, to do all of the, to do everything for them. And women get happier because they know how to be, functional adults by themselves. So I have no idea where he's taking this idea from, that women will be miserable if they're alone, blah, blah, blah. So let's see what else he has to say.
But you're not wired that way. In fact, I'll tell you guys.
All right, I think I remember where he's going to go with this video, now that he said that. So yeah, let's keep watching.
If I log on to any of these crappy dating apps, if I log on right now to Bumble, every day I get multiple 40-plus-year-old women. And I'm sorry if this isn't politically correct. I'm going to call it what it is. Over the hill, 40-something-year-old women that are saying, looking for my person. They want to settle down. They want monogamy. They want somebody to build with. They want to build memories and somebody to call their own. Well, those same women were preaching a much different tune, 18 to 40. Those are the same women that are screaming from the rooftops that they don't want no man, they don't need no man, they just want to be single. But then again, when you're not the hottest chick on the block and the looks start to fade a bit, now all of a sudden you expect Prince Charming to come in and marry you. I don't say this stuff to try to like harass women. I don't say it to put them down. What I'm saying is it sucks to sit here and see how many women we have that are miserable and future ones that are going to be miserable. Because make no mistake, with this strange gender war that we have between men and women, women lose. Women will lose. You can get mad. You can make all the money you want. Women that are watching this, you can make all the money you want. You can buy the big, modern, beautiful house. When you lay your head down at night, naturally, the way we're wired, you will not be as happy and as satisfied as a normal guy that just lives in a one-bedroom apartment playing video games.
Again, yeah, that's research. There's research showing the opposite. And I don't know, like women throwing parties, not parties, but like celebrating after they divorce, because they've like spent years and years trying to, make this relationship with an abusive person work, and then it didn't. And then after they divorce, they see like how freeing it can be. So like women are the ones being happy when they are finally single. So I don't know where he's taking this from. I think it's a bubble thing again. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe he likes women in a certain age and have a certain profile, and then Tinder tends to show only those specific women to them that look miserable in that age. Or maybe he's getting those ideas and those assumptions from somewhere else, probably from the red pill that, as I said, spreads a lot of BS about women. So yeah, let's see what else it has to say.
At your same age, you're not going to be as happy as that guy. And you guys might disagree, but that's been my experience. I'm at an age now where I can see people ahead of me, and I can see people behind me in age. And without question, as much as the media promotes this, as much as people want to make their videos putting on a fake smile, I can't name one woman, not one, zero. I cannot name one woman that took the route of independent, feminist, don't need no man, don't want no man, that is now 40 plus and is happy they did that. Not one. Every single one is miserable. Every single one is just bitter and jaded and rotten.
Man, this is definitely a bubble thing, because I know many women, at least, famous YouTubers and people that you see that I follow on the internet, that are older women, single or divorced, or, who ended up alone, so to say, and they're doing much better in life. Like they're happy, so nope. Don't agree with that.
Some of them admit it. Some of them say outright they made a mistake. Most do not, because they will rather die on that hill.
I think he's like projecting a lot here. I think this scenario is what he wants. He desperately wants to be true, because I don't know. He seems to be like the conservative type of guy that thinks that women should have the specific role, and since there are so many women that do not want to follow this role that he thinks is the right role for women, then he really hopes that one day all of these women are going to regret, and oh my god, look how I was right about you, ha ha ha, shame on you. So all of these videos seem to be about that, like, shame on you, I told you. But yeah, as I said, like there's research and examples out there, enough examples out there that show the opposite. So yeah, let's see what else. There's something else, right, guys, that I think he's going to say in this video. If he doesn't, I'll say in the end of the video what I was waiting for him to say. But yeah, let's go. Let's keep watching and see if he gets there.
Of jaded, bitter anger. They refuse to look in the mirror. They refuse to take any accountability for their bad decisions.
The accountability bit goes for men as well, right? And one thing I don't think that's really frustrating about the red pills is that they seem to be like a bunch of kids that can't deal with rejection and can deal with the fact of, you know, women wanting to have their own lives and wanting to make their own decisions and basically being like the owners of their own lives. And basically that's their complaint, while us women are, you know, getting together and finding ways to not be abused. So what we're fighting against is like, and I know it sounds like, oh, social justice warrior, but it's not about that, guys. It's about survival. So basically, all these choices that women have been making is to not be abused. Look at the amount of femicides that you have these days. Look at the amount of domestic violence that there is out there. And as I said before, I don't know, this is the second time I'm recording this, so I don't know if I said it before already, but if I did, I'm saying again. These men say all the time that not all men are like that. However, all women and every woman I know, and myself included, every woman has one or more, usually more than one, horror stories with abusive men. And in my case, all of the men that have been abusive to me, none of them are Chads. Okay, if you guys like these guys make so many generalizations that are so that they're basically wrong, right? Nothing is has like scientific evidence, so they basically just get together with, I don't know, 5 other people that agree with them, and then they come up with these things that are not true. Oh my God. So yeah, so basically just I guess my point is just that, you know, women are fighting, are trying to avoid real and dangerous types of abuse, manipulation, one-sided cheating, and that kind of thing, while men are just struggling to be rejected. You know, that's it. Look at the difference here, right?
There's a fight. There's a real push right now because most people are telling these young women to stop being a 304 because this is where you're going to end up. But now the media and everybody involved, either knowingly or accidentally or just going along with the flow, now that sentiment is being talked about so much, there's this huge push now to promote older women, older single women, as you did it right, baby. You're doing the right thing. This is happiness. This is happiness. Come on, keep going. This is what you want. I'm telling you, this is what you want. There's this weird push for that. And I'll say it again. Young women, you're going to lose. Sadly,
Again, I don't know where he's taking that from. I guess I'll assume it's like the empowerment and, you know, speeches and posts that you see in places out there. But nobody's really praising women like that, man. That's really the experience. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. I think you might get some praise if you are lucky enough to get like really rich and really successful. But that goes for everybody, right? Once you have a lot of money, regardless of, you know, of your values, of your politics, of whatever you believe in, you will have a lot of, you know, people licking your ass and saying like, oh my God, you did everything right. Look at you. Oh, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But that's not about what he's saying. It's just, you know, people just praise you after you are successful. So I think maybe he's, I don't know, seeing content of successful people that have that profile, and then he thinks he's like generalizing it to everybody else. But again, as a woman above 30s and knowing a lot of women above 30s who are single, it's not really the experience, man. It's not really the experience. And yeah, Let's keep watching.
You're going to be the one to lose here. Only thing you're going to have when you're 40 plus years old is 150,000 miles between your legs. God forbid, little mini Chads running around because you're a single mother. Anger.
And I think this guy really is a red pill then. He's speaking like very much like them.
Bitterness. I can't think of one good reason why anybody would promote this. It's either ignorance or malice. It's one of the two. It's either pure ignorance or pure malice. Ill intent. It's one of those two things. There's nothing else that makes any sense. And even the people...
Oh boy. So like, oh, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but there was like a strong noise coming from the street. But like nothing else beyond that. Like, did you just stop and ask women that have this profile why? And then you'll get, their reasons and their views on that. It has nothing to do with ill intent,
People that I talk to, they can't seem to wrap their head around like the obvious hypocrisy. You can take any individual that makes content like this, that is promoting the older women like that, being single and being happy. Those same people will put every man that's single down. Look for yourself. Go find one of these people. Go find one of these people that praise the raging feminists and push the girl boss nonsense. All of them praise.
Yeah, I don't know what he means with raging feminists or girl boss narrative. I'm going to guess that he's getting like his definitions for feminism and girl bossiness from like other red pills and from the right wing, and feminism for them is usually a very shallow, how can I put it, part of what feminism really is. But anyway, this video is not about that. But yeah, let's keep watching and see if he delves into something else more with more depth.
Single women in their 30s and beyond, all of them, they praise them. They're trying to convince every young woman that's the way to go. And those same people do nothing but shame men for being single. Whether you're the...
Man, I would like to see, like, who are the men that are being shamed? Because what I can think about now, like when I see comments on, for example, feminist posts on the internet that, for example, usually a post about some incel that did some abuse to some kind of woman, or or like more other posts about femicide cases, and then you have the classic people asking things like, "Oh, where was she when that happened? Oh, what was she wearing?" And this these BS types of comments. So like, I wonder if he thinks like that. If in the case of crimes like that, he would blame the woman or not. And like support the men that are being abusive. I don't know, what this guy would think about that, but it really looks like that he's the typical red pill guy that believes feminism is about, wearing as little clothes as possible and calling that empowerment. And yeah, I would have to make a whole video to explain that. But basically, I would say that it's not just about that. It's about that being possible and not judged, I guess. I would put it this way for now. Yeah, because, again, if you look at how you would judge men and women based on what they do, it's basically saying that it's basically judging women who have lots of partners and that act very and that indulge their sexualities a lot as being something horrible, while men can do that. So can't believe we're still having this discussion. It shouldn't be a thing. Like, let people do whatever they want with their bodies as long as it doesn't hurt somebody else. And if he's being hurt about what women are doing to their own bodies, like, these women are not hurting him. They're not hurting him. And that's very different from what men who are rejected and end up committing crimes are doing to women. So that's where the limits are when it comes to freedom, right? Women are not the ones committing a lot of crimes. Women are not the ones committing violent crimes. And women are not the ones that are raised to be extremely abusive and feel entitled to other people's bodies and what they do with them.
Hot Chad that's pumping and dumping all these broads, or you're the guy that, has been cursed with the worst of looks and the worst of game and self-respect and confidence, and you can't get anything. No matter where you fall on that spectrum, these people, most people in general today, most voices that you see shaping the narrative and the conversation out here, most of them, if not all of them, praise the women and shame the men. Very strange.
No, man, not really. The praising bit doesn't really happen. That's really effed up, man. Anyway.
Very, very strange, especially when you consider the fact that women, no matter how flat out ugly they are, no matter how busted they are, no matter how high of mileage they have, how much baggage they have, they can still find a guy on their level, if not above, to date them. I mean, I've
Oh God, so much judgment. And again, the rating bit. So basically, I myself have been, nowadays I'm an average looking type of person, but I have been ugly. Like when I was young, I was really ugly. And he's saying that as if it's a good thing to be a woman and to be ugly and to be able to get dates, but it's not really like that. When you're ugly, you're laughed at. And if somebody is able to be with you, it's just you're just used as an object to show others that, like for this guy just saw, oh look, you're basically like the object of challenges, so like, oh, I dare you to stay with the ugly woman, ha 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 ha. And this guy is portraying being the ugly person as a good thing. Like, put yourself in the shoes of that ugly person. Would you like to be treated like that, as an object? And then he can go like, just to sort of win the argument, like, oh, of course, it's better than not being chosen at all. But no, man, you don't really think that. Really think this through. You don't really think that. Nobody likes to be treated that way. Nobody likes to be treated that way. And again, as a woman, when you're ugly, and when you're not ugly, people feel already entitled to your body, and you get harassed on the street, you get followed on the street, and it's dangerous. When you're beautiful, when you're ugly, it's dangerous too, because people think you're even less valuable. So you have to be extra careful. People throw things at you on the street when you're an ugly woman, and people would never do that to a man that's bigger than them, right? These things only happen to women. So like, again, it's the thing that I said before, like, before believing those things that other red pills say about women, go find a woman with that profile and ask them what their experience was, because I don't see any men doing that. And that creates this bubble of lots of lies and BS about women experience. That's just a bunch of lies. And these guys are believing it. Let's continue.
Seen women that are morbidly obese, with multiple kids from multiple men, disabled, busted, smell like a protein shaker cup that's been left in a hot car for a week. Those women still have at least a handful of men. They can log on to any dating app. They will get men that are saying, yes, I will take you out. I will be your man. I will build a future with you and spend time with you and make memories with you. Yes, I will.
Man, that's just not true. He's just, I think he's just coming up with that.
It's easy for them. Why aren't they being shamed for not settling down? Why would you shame the men where our society makes it harder and harder for those men to be respected enough to be desired? What have I said in other videos? As a society with pop culture and music and television and celebrities and Hollywood and all of it, we have opened the window so wide to let in so many women as what's considered hot and attractive, desirable, and we've closed the window so small that literally 1% of men get in to be in the category of attractive. We've done that. We've somehow simultaneously at the same time opened the window so wide that every woman, no matter how obese she is, how much baggage she has, none of it. They're all considered bad bitches. They're all considered tens. They're all considered hot. And we've closed that window so small that literally no men get in. No men are considered hot. You know? And of course, I'm being a little bit ridiculous.
Since he said it himself, well, yeah, and that makes total sense, man. Like, again, it's just an idea that somebody threw out there without any, any research, any fact checking, and then a few other guys agreed with it, and then to them it's just the truth. But again, if you ask women with these profiles, and then you ask what the experiences are actually like, I'm pretty sure you guys would be very surprised with the answers.
Because I'm not going to act like I haven't had some good luck with women. I have had my luck. But still, it's not the same for most women as it is for most men. It's not. So why the hypocrisy? Why are we praising so many older women and women that are coming into that? Why are we fighting so hard as a society to promote them being single while simultaneously putting down, disrespecting, and shaming every man that's single? When the women can easily get a man, and the men out here mostly have a very hard time.
Okay, he's almost finished with the video. So again, what I would say about that is not really true. I have no idea why he thinks that. If he's implying that just because of the feminist pages out there that try to help women who are in this age and have this profile, but we are not really praised. That's not really the experience, man. As for men, I do believe that that can happen as well. I've seen it happen a few times myself. But in my experience, in my bubble, it's much harsher to women and not to men. So yeah, he's saying that with so much, emphasis that to me it's even surprising. Yeah, let's see what he says in the end of the video.
Financially, it's very hard to be respected when you can't even pay your rent. Most guys can't. I can't wrap my head around that. Am I crazy? Have you guys noticed this too? I can't be the only one.
Right, so he's finished. So yeah, women cannot pay their rents too, so it's a universal thing, right? They're struggling with the late stage of the system that we are currently in. Yeah, so what can I say, man? There's so much in this video that we could talk with more depth about, but in terms of the main topic, which is society praising single women while shaming single men, I think society is shaming both because in the current system, the system needs more kids to keep everything running, and so yeah, I think the shaming goes both ways, and in my experience, it's much worse as a woman, as we all know how women are raised to be, to act, and what women are raised to pursue, and men, are raised to pursue more things other than just a relationship, and they can pursue like a career, and nobody's going to care that much if they're single or not. So, yeah, I think, just to finalize, I think a big issue in this is also these bubbles created by social networks, right? So if you have a certain profile, you're going to receive videos that show people that have similar experiences than you, that think things that are similar to what you think. So I think there is some distortion of the perception of the world because of that. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's all. So I think I don't know. Do I need to conclude this video, guys? I guess I would just conclude with one of the things that I said before. That is, if you think a certain thing about a certain type of person, so let's say a woman in her 30s, and you're assuming that women in their 30s as always, and who are single, are always this and this and that. They think this and that, and they do this and that. Like, just instead of believing what a man says about these women, just ask a woman who has those characteristics, who has like that age and is in that group, and ask them what their experience is like. Nobody's doing that. I don't see any of these red pills doing that. So yeah, I think that's how I want to finish this video. If there is somebody still here, thanks for watching, and see you next time.